Today we're over in Corte Madera, California, near San Clemente and Granada Park. New neighborhood for us, haven't been here yet. And I've been wanting to take you guys to the top of Mount Tam and do a video up there so badly, but the wind has been kind of out of control here for the past couple of weeks. And I feel like if it's that windy down here by the ground, imagine what it's like at the top of the tallest peak in the land. So hopefully we'll get that in before I leave the area, because it's going to be a stunning view. Just go up there and show you guys. But anyways, let's talk about how being house poor right now is literally the new normal. And this is not a good thing, but this is what's happening. And this is so bad, guys, that literally mortgage payments right now for a homeowner that's looking to buy today is up 60% from where it was a year ago. And when we look at Black Knight's data, according to them, in July of 2023, the average monthly principal and interest payment on the average mortgage across the United States is $2,300 per month right now. So that doesn't include your property taxes, your insurance, anything like that. That's just your principal and interest, $2,300 per month. This is literally the highest mortgage payment on record since Black Knight has been keeping track. So this is bad. According to their data, they're saying that at least half of home buyers right now are facing a monthly mortgage payment of at least $2,000 per month, and a quarter of people are paying $3,000 a month or more. But here's the problem, guys. The average monthly income right now, as of July 2023, is $4,600 per month. So somebody making $4,600 a month is supposed to be able to pay $2,300 a month just on the mortgage, not even talking the insurance, the taxes, all of the maintenance that goes along with being a homeowner, utilities, who knows? And to show you guys just how much this has gone up, 25% of home buyers today are gonna have a mortgage payment of $3,000 and up. Well, just 2 years ago in 2021, it was only 5%. So you can see just how much damage these high interest rates have done to the housing market, and obviously home prices as well. They're also the culprit with this, but the interest rates are really what's killing the payment, because you can still afford to buy a relatively expensive home if the interest rate is low, because it just has such a massive impact on your payment. And the real problem with all of this, guys, and what being house poor means, is that people are paying 40% or more of their household incomes towards the mortgage, and they're getting approved for this because they have to, because mortgage companies, if they don't write these loans, they're going to go out of business. So there's going to be nobody left to get a loan if they don't approve people that are with these debt to income ratios. So it's a very precarious position for everybody, not just the home buyer, but also these lenders. You know, they're lending to people that could potentially have a high probability of default because their mortgage payment is just too much of their monthly expense. And that can become a problem when people hit any sort of financial distress. And when you have debt to income ratios being approved over 40% right now, this is a problem, because historically speaking, it's always been closer to 30%. So this amount that people are spending right now on their home payments is basically at record highs. You know, like we said, Black Knight's data is proving this. And I kind of feel bad for anybody who's jumping into this situation right now just out of desperation to buy a house, because you could just be setting yourself up for disaster. One hiccup, guys, you don't make the payments, you know, you're done. After 90 days of no mortgage payments, you're going to be already in foreclosure proceedings. So you don't have a lot of leeway with this stuff. And I'm just a little bit worried that too many people are going to try to prematurely jump on the property ladder, because I think that people should own real estate, guys. It is a proven method of building wealth. It's a proven method of having a stable place to live ever since people have been keeping track, really. But, you know, when the average first-time home buyer only makes $3,900 a month, and they're looking at a $2,000 a month or higher just monthly principal and interest payment, it's not good. You know, transitioning from being a renter to a homeowner when that's your income is probably not going to be a smart move right now. Unless you do, like I said in yesterday's video, move to the Midwest, guys. Go buy a house for $150,000 over there, and if you make $4,000 a month, you can afford that. The problem is people are trying to buy in places like here. They're trying to buy in places like Miami. They're trying to buy in Phoenix. They're trying to buy in New York and Chicago and the places that are all super expensive. Now, some people are lucky right now and they can get help from the bank of mom and dad, especially first-time home buyers. And if mom and dad give you a large enough chunk of a down payment, that can significantly lower what your mortgage payment will be. So the fortunate in life have that. But if you're like me and never was able to tap the bank of mom and dad to buy your house, well, then you need to figure out other ways to make it happen. But that's why I think it's smart to just wait for some relief, because until the inventory comes, until the mortgage rates come down, we're likely to see this situation persist for quite some time. And when the mortgage rates start coming down, it's likely going to be because the Fed has pivoted and we will be entering into a recession, which is going to make inventory come to the market even more. So not only will it affect prices, but it'll also make your monthly payment cheaper. So I just think that people don't have a lot to lose by waiting a little bit longer right now, instead of opting to be house poor because you think that you're never going to be able to buy a house. If it were me personally, all I can tell you is I wouldn't be taking that bet right now. I wouldn't be betting that I can afford to spend half of my income on the house payment and try to make it work unless I knew for a fact that I could somehow make more money and make up for it. So even though maybe it's half of my income right now, but I know within a year I could maybe, make 25-30% more money, then sure, maybe it's worth taking that gamble for some people. But if you know that you're not going to be switching jobs anytime soon, or you don't have any intentions of starting a side hustle or a business or anything that's going to make you extra money, you're taking on massive risk. And I think part of the confusion of this that's kind of making people unsure of what to do is this question of like, are home prices going up or down? Because it's like you see all these different stories out there talking about home prices are down 10%, home prices are up 3.3%. Like, which one is it, guys? Is it true? What's really happening? Well, in order to actually answer that question, you need to dive into the weeds a little bit, and that requires you to do your own research on your own local housing market. Even different agencies are reporting different numbers right now. Okay, you have the Federal Housing Finance Agency. They're reporting that the May numbers, home prices were down 2.8% from a year ago. And then you look at the National Association of Realtors, it's the exact opposite. Their latest data, I think of August, says it's up 2.8%, but there's a big spread right there between May and August. So everything has to be put into context first of all. When are these data points from? Is this a national average? Is this from my town? Like, what is it? Where are these numbers coming from? Because the reality is, the broad values that I cover here on the channel, and likely that you'll see on many other real estate channels, covers what's happening throughout the entire country. And we do this because of a couple of different reasons. At least I can't speak for everybody else, but I can tell you why I cover what's going on nationally rather than just locally all the time. Because number one, if I just cover what's going on like here in California or in Florida where I live, no one's going to care, guys. Only the people that live in those areas are going to be interested in seeing that video. And obviously, I'm in the business of making videos, so I need to make sure people see my videos. And also, when you talk about the median sales price across the country rather than local areas, it shows you what the broad trends are. It shows you the direction that the market's headed in general. And it's up to you to do your individual research from there. It also helps the most people, right? So the idea for me when I make these videos, I want the most amount of people to see these videos and have the most amount of people helped from them. It doesn't do me any good to help 2,000 people when I can help 50,000 people. You know what I'm saying? And here's the reality, guys. The National Association of Realtors, they publish quarterly metro market data. So it's only updated 4 times a year. And in the latest one from the first quarter, which the second quarter one should be coming out pretty soon, it shows this, that 151 different metros across the United States went up year over year, but 68 of them went down. So you could say, well, Michael, that means in the majority of places, home prices are still going up, which is actually true. Yes, they are going up, but very incrementally. We're talking 2% year over year right now in many cases. And I will get to this a little bit later here and show you guys some more extreme examples. But you also can't ignore the fact that there are 68 metros where it's going down, guys. And I believe that number is going to grow as the economy continues to deteriorate. Once we inch closer to the recession, you're going to see more of these metros start to be down year over year. So not only is it important for you to track your own metro, you know, you can do this using websites like Zillow and Redfin, and you know, you have to take their data with a grain of salt also, guys, because like we've shown in the past, you know, their inventory numbers and sales numbers don't necessarily match up with what the local MLSs are showing. So really, if you want to have like the most accurate data of what's happening, say in your neighborhood, say you know, hey, I want to buy a house in this neighborhood where I'm walking right now, you should be in contact with a real estate agent that can send you monthly market reports of what's happening in your zip code, guys. So that way you know what's going on. And that's totally free. You don't have to pay for that. And they'll gladly do it because they're going to try to earn your business by doing that. And by the way, if you need a real estate agent, feel free to use my link in the description, guys. It's a free service I provide for anybody that needs to buy or sell a home in all 50 states of the country. And all you have to do is use the link, fill out a little bit of information, and I'll get you in touch with an agent ASAP. Not only is the service entirely free to you, but it helps the channel. So if you use it, I really appreciate it. And here's the thing, you can talk to your real estate agent about what they see as price trends happening in the area, but I think you should still be doing the research on your own and checking and double checking their work. Essentially looking at, through the numbers I'm seeing on these monthly market reports from the big websites like Zillow and Redfin and the market reports they're sending me, is this lining up with what they're telling me? Because some real estate agents will just say anything in order to make a sale, which is wrong, but it's what some people just do. It's just the way people work, guys. It is what it is. And you're always gonna have, you know, bad actors that give a bad name for everybody, and it's unfortunate, but it's true. Hey!
I've seen your videos a couple times, bro.
You have?
You're from Florida, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome, man.
Good seeing you, man.
Thanks.
Take it easy.
You too. That's cool. Just ran into another fan of the channel. I love when I see you guys out in public, man. Everybody just says hello and says, hey, I've seen your videos. So never feel afraid to say hello, guys. So if you double check the realtor's work and the price trends that you're seeing in the data reflect what they're saying, then more likely than not, you know you can trust them, guys. But if they're saying something different than what you're seeing in those reports, then my suggestion is to find a new real estate agent, because they're probably just trying to sell you a house and don't care what you buy. They just want you to buy right now so they can get the next paycheck. And that's kind of a good way to weed out who's telling the truth and who isn't. And it's the same thing that goes for selling a house. Like if you're trying to sell a house right now and you know your neighborhood, some sellers are much better at this than others, I can tell you that from experience. But if you know more or less what your house should be selling for, because the house right next door just sold like 2 months ago for this price, and you know yours is probably worth a similar price, and the real estate agent comes in and says, well, I think I can get you $300,000 more, probably you want to run, guys, and look somewhere else, because they're just saying stuff like that to get you to list with them. Because it's an old sales tactic that many of them use just to win the listing, and then they'll say, oh, we'll drop the price, and they just want to, you know, overpromise and underdeliver essentially. But real estate is definitely local, and even though we talk about broad trends here on the channel, and many other channels do the same, you might also be able to find some smaller YouTube channels that cover the area that you're looking to buy in. And fair warning, you know, when you find those channels, the information could easily be biased towards you buying a house, because think about the motivations for a real estate agent to start a YouTube channel. Their idea is, I'm going to talk about the local market, show people around, show them what's going on around here, and then if they need a buyer's agent or a seller's agent, they'll call me, right? But obviously, most of those people who are trying to do that aren't going to be telling you not to buy right now. You see, that's the difference. Like, I'm not saying that those people are bad, but what I'm telling you is, even though I'm in the real estate business, I don't care whether or not you buy right now or not, guys. I appreciate everybody who has used my link and I've made a referral commission from you, but I'm not trying to make sure everybody does that. I'm just offering that as a service to you in case you want to use it. That's it, you know? So you want to use that? Go ahead, but you don't have to. And I'm not telling anybody you need to buy right now or it's all going to be over with. And I want to show you guys some specific examples of how this information can be drastically different depending on different markets, okay? First of all, let's look at the Redfin's most recent price report for the national trends, okay? So according to the most recent data as of August of 2023, they're saying that home prices are up 3% year over year, and the median home price today is $420,000. And it's been steadily inching down a little bit since June, but it hasn't really come down that much. Even though nationwide home prices are up 3%, that doesn't mean that's the case where you live. And I'm going to show you what I mean right now. So if you live in Miami, for example, home prices are up 7.7% year over year right now. So people in Miami who are waiting to buy are getting kind of crushed right now by the ever rising prices and the ever rising interest rates. And I saw that as a trend before I bought, as well as what was happening with the rental rates. And I took my own advice and I bought, knowing that this is going to be a better deal than renting, and it is. However, if you just take a look at the Redfin data for Corte Madera, where we're walking in right now, it is astonishingly different. In fact, the median home price here is down 44% year over year. That is unbelievable, okay? Here's the problem also with looking at these data points that I want to kind of get into with you guys to hopefully shine a little bit of light on this. Even though in this area, median home price is down 44% year over year, the median home price is still $1,010,000. So it's still a lot of money, right? But here's what I think is going on with this. All these data points, they all measure the median home price, which is the middle number when you look at all the homes that have sold. And so when we look at what Redfin says in their most recent housing market report, they're saying that in August of 2023, there was 475,576 homes sold, which is down 14.5% from a year ago. So it's no surprise and no secret that the amount of home sales that are closing each year is going down. And so since there's less homes being sold right now than there was a year ago, it also means that the ones that are still being sold right now are more expensive. Because a couple of different reasons. Number one, many of the lower price listings are not hitting the market because people are hanging on to those for dear life. So the homes that are hitting the market are more expensive, and the people that can afford to buy them also have the money to buy them, therefore pushing up the median home price. But that doesn't necessarily mean that home prices are just going up across the board. What it really means, because of this low inventory situation and low sales situation, it really means that the amount of homes being sold is low, therefore kind of skewing these numbers a little bit to a higher price point. You know, because in a balanced market, if we actually had 6 months worth of inventory, we would be seeing this median home price down quite a bit, actually, everywhere. And the reason for that is simple, because more homes would be selling and for less money. Because when you have more inventory, homes have to be priced less because there's more competition. It's just the law of supply and demand, guys. That's how real estate works. The less the supply, the higher the price goes. And that's why you're seeing these prices so high right now. And it can kind of give people the illusion that it's going to continue like this forever, that you're just going to see prices continue to go up forever, because that's what we've been seeing happen over the past few years. But the only way that that's possible is with massive Fed stimulation and with continually low inventory forever. So if you think that's going to be the future, then yeah, home prices will go up forever. But I don't think that's going to be the future, and it's why I think it's okay to take a breath right now and not become house poor and not get into a house you can't afford because you're just afraid you'll never own one. So based on what's happening right now, the way I see all this going moving forward, if inventory remains like it is and remains relatively low, we're going to see home prices remain relatively flat, especially now that interest rates are going to be higher for longer, and people are just going to be priced out. So you're not going to see that many transactions take place, but we might still see the median price push higher because of the dynamics that I just explained earlier, because the amount of homes that are selling is less, and the homes that are selling are at a higher price point because those are the only people who can afford them to begin with, therefore pushing up the median price, okay? But don't be fooled into thinking that that's how it's going to be forever. But at the same time, say inventory were to double in the next 6 months because, all of a sudden the economy starts deteriorating, what do you think is going to happen to median home prices then? okay? So I just want people to understand this and think about it for themselves to kind of understand how all of this works. You can't just go by the fact that, oh, median home prices are up and that's why I should buy. That's not really a good reason to buy, guys, because it doesn't really reflect the reality of what's going on right now, unfortunately. And home sales are just continuing to drop. In fact, the most recent numbers are out as of August from the National Association of Realtors. All 4 regions across the country, the West, the South, the East, the Midwest, all saw declines in year-over-year sales numbers. So even where homes are the cheapest, people still aren't buying. And it's down so significantly that home sales nationwide as of August are down 15.3% year-over-year, guys. That's significant. So what that means is there's more people just saying no. They're boycotting this market and waiting for the conditions to get better. And I think that's the smart thing to do right now, but you can do whatever you think is right. And I think that you need to be looking at these numbers and these local data points, getting in touch with people that know the area, and then making that decision for yourself. Don't just listen to me because it's my opinion, or you've seen 100 of my videos and it's just convinced you not to buy. That might not be the right choice for you. And you're hearing that from me. I'm telling you that it could be the right time to buy in your particular area and for your particular life circumstance. And here's the thing I want you guys to understand and leave you with. Lawrence Yun is saying this, okay? He is the chief economist over at the National Association of Realtors. He says that home prices continue to march higher despite lower home sales, which is kind of an anomaly, right? Unless you just watched this whole video in its entirety and you heard my explanation of most likely why this is happening. And because they're going by the median sold price of homes, which are homes that are still selling right now, and it's not that many, we just said it's down 15% year over year, those homes are more expensive, and that drives the median price even higher. The fact of the matter is, no one wants to give up a good affordable home right now. And so you're not seeing a lot of listings like that hit the market. You're seeing more expensive listings, places that are in the $500,000 range and up hit the market. And the problem is most people are priced out of that. They can't afford to buy those homes, but when they do, it pushes the median price up. To me, that's the explanation of why we're seeing this dynamic of lower home sales, but prices continuing to go up. So if you enjoyed this video, make sure you subscribe to the channel. And if you don't want to wait for my next one to come out, check out this video on the screen right over here, and I'll see you in the next one.